What's going on, YouTube family? This is Astinosis here, coming at you with another Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia video. Tonight we are recapping the stream. Now, before I get into the content, I want to make a quick comment on something that I kept seeing being spammed in the Twitch chat, and that was somebody hating on the fact that content creators steal the Square Enix slide and make content of their own. Now, I don't know what this dummy thinks stealing is, but there's a lot of people who don't get to catch those streams and they don't pay attention to Twitch, and those of us who make the YouTube content make it easier for them to access and also talk about it a little bit more and elaborate on some of the stuff and give our own personal thoughts on it. So fuck that guy. Anywho, we're gonna move on. I don't know about you guys, but I am absolutely pumped for the Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles Remaster Edition. A little aggravated that it can't yet be pre-ordered on the Nintendo eShop. I don't fully understand why. The DLC costumes are a welcome surprise. Surprise. I don't know. I'm curious what kind of charge they'll have, but they better be super cheap. Otherwise, I'm not going to bother. But interesting that they point out that it looks like the mobile version can join for 13 dungeons. Otherwise, I'm curious what that means for the full versions of the game, which I assume means Nintendo Switch. Oh, I see. Never mind. Okay, so there is a full version of the game and a free version of the game. Never mind. Okay, see, this is why we talk about these things, to kind of elaborate, because you can see the little asterisk there, and then there's a little thing that there's, okay, so there's basically a free trial of sorts. Alright, so let's move on from Crystal Chronicles. I mean, like I said, I'm absolutely pumped to see that come out. So we got some adjustments here, some quality of life issues, cycle quests. I kind of wish that there would be and this is just me being spoiled, but I was kind of hoping that they would give us a little something for all those keys that are essentially going to waste. I have probably several hundred of them. Now, if I recall correctly, this is going to reset the mission bonuses, so you'll be able to get gems from them again. I do like the fact that the level 70 does drop the tier 4 high shards. I don't remember that from my very brief experience with JP, but I can't read shit anyway, so how would I know? The reset button is a welcome change. That right there, I might make wildly liberal use of, especially in some of my recordings, because I've seen footage, or I'm sorry, not footage, but feedback from other content creators, from their viewers, about how sometimes people do like to see those failures just to kind of see how did I overcome that failure. So for me, that's going to be a matter of like time. Like, do I really have the time to devote that and keep on resetting and resetting and resetting? Depends. We'll see. Realistically, with the character lines, you know, that's all cool and well, but I mean, that's not something that I'm super hyped about. I do love the fact that you get to change your friend support abilities, because that shit is annoying. I don't think a lot of you realize that you can set your character's abilities however you want for yourself, and the support version of that character is for the public. Like, you are never going to see that, so you can completely change it and it will not affect you and how you prefer your gameplay. So just keep that in mind. I don't really care so much about the scroll bar thing, and I do also like that the Dissidia point exchange is being moved to the token exchange, because that was kind of silly having to go back to the home screen. The joys of cats making noise. Sphere refining, I didn't really get into this too much in the JP version of the game, mostly because, again, I could not read what the fuck was happening, so this will probably mean a lot more to me now, especially because I'm stingy with my spheres. And I don't know, I'm just really stingy. But that brings me on to the next point, is the fact that we can reset them. Like, I love this. Now, I made a mistake and I accidentally merged a stone over another one. I don't remember which one it was, because I was just not paying attention and I wasted a stone, so that sucks. But this right here, if you want to change out a stone, swap out for a better stone. Interesting that they're gating it behind real life currency rather than something that you can earn in game. I mean, I'm a little bit disappointed with that, but I guess I can understand. You know, they're trying to make money. That's Square Enix for you. And of course, chapter 10. I'm pumped for this chapter. This game alone has allowed me to see a lot of growth in Vaughn, so I've been super pumped to see how he behaves now in these games. Curious how he's going to be behaving in this next chapter where there's burst and LD. I'm going for those. I don't yet know if I'll go for the BT all the way. I might wait until the Machina banner to see if I can luck sack it there. Gabranth, absolutely pumped for. That costume will be mine, and I will be farming the shit out of that. If you guys need help with the Story Chaos co-op before that 2-week period expires, drop a comment, let me know. I'll make sure we swap user IDs, and I'll help you get your clears. Or excuse me, completions, because there's no sense in doing it when it makes life easier for you, so might as well do it that. Now, the Abyss, as much... I have a love-hate relationship with the Abyss, because I really get irritated having to swap out my characters after almost every battle. It's really annoying. Interesting that they are separating it with time gates in 3 different sections, but I tell you what, getting all those tickets and such from the last Abyss that we had, I did like that, as much as I hated the journey to get it. Plus, the limited time, you get more gems, more tickets. I'm down for that. Now, the enhancement campaign, obviously the one that everybody cares about, as said on the stream, is, of course, the Radiant Artifact tokens, double artifact drops. We haven't had one of these in like 3 months. So this is a big deal. Hopefully, I will actually make use of this time. A lot of the times I keep saying, oh man, I'm going to farm all the way up to max, and then I don't. And then, like the last few hours, I farm out a couple thousand, and then that's it. So, if you're able to auto that shit, by all means set that to auto. We have lots of potions. I know, even though I've finished every single summon board, I still have over 1,000 potions. And this is also with doing the artifact tokens without the double. Like, I do that so I could get those missions done that give you gems. So absolutely pumped about that. Okay, now moving on, we have Machina. Now, Machina is not a banner that I'm particularly excited about. Now, if I get the Von LD fairly early on, plus the Gabranth equipment, the EX specifically, early, I will likely wait to pull the burst on the Machina banner. And then if I get them, cool. If not, oh well. But for me on this page, Leon is the hype. Leon is the motherfucking hype. My VV is in a good place too. I don't think I'm going to build him just yet. There's just too many characters to build this time. I mean, holy shit. Yeah, because I want to build Gabranth. That Chaos Challenge quest is going to be absolutely toxic. Basically, if you don't have Gabranth and Lena and Von, you're likely going to fail. And by Von, I mean at least minimum Von LD, as I understand it. I don't know if anybody can stand in for Gabranth. I'd have to look and see if there's videos on that. I will personally use Von, Lena, and Gabranth, so it's still going to be toxic either way, because they will remove the buffs that Lena puts on. They give no shits about that. Excuse me. And then, of course, we got more board hype. And I love that we have the... I don't know why that text box is there, but that is a big oof on my part. Looking at the Super Synergy, I'm trying to think who has the fastest animation. I do feel like it's going to be Noctis with his LD weapon, assuming, of course, you pull it. But I love the fact that we now have the Mog Pass, which will make this farm way more painful. Yeah, and thankfully I have that day off for Labor Day, so, well, most of us do, I think, so I'm gonna farm the shit out of that on release night. And here's hoping I can luck sack the Noctis Burst and LD, because those are the only 2 weapons off that banner I would need. And we have Entropy Tier 15. Admittedly, I know fuck all about this fight, other than what's listed here. Tough against magic, multiple enemy waves, shifting resistances, so that tells me that Imperil is likely going to be the way to go. And of course they have strong AoE attacks on wave 2, so they say physical attacks, knockback, so this is probably going to be a good spot to bring Noctis, probably. And I'm thinking possibly Desh, somebody that can reduce the Brave damage. And he does a really good job of that, and he's able to heal. Just a thought, I don't know, that's something I will likely test out. And then finally, I'm hyped for this, Basch. Basch's Lost Chapter with his LD, where he becomes like essentially unkillable, or not like unkillable, basically unkillable, as long as you're not a walking brain case that does not know where your head from your ass is. Of course, Noctis will be available on this banner for his burst. And it, still to this day, I often wonder why they act like they don't know who that silhouette. That silhouette is 9, and I don't yet know how deep I'm going. I am locked in, of course, to a couple of pool battles on these. I'm locked into one with the Von Gabron. I'm locked into the Noctis release. I'm locked into I think Machina. I think. I have to go back and check my DMs, and then I do believe I'm locked in on 9, mostly for tickets, just for the content, for the enjoyment. We'll see if I get lucky. Now, to reiterate, because this got a lot of people confused on stream, where it says Basch rework and Barrett board 2, they're not saying that Barrett is getting a rework again. What they're saying is that Basch is getting a rework, and then along with that, both of them are getting boards. It's just not very well worded, but that was clarified on stream. And then this actually comes as a surprise. I really don't know what they would have done otherwise, because if we look at the schedule, Arden Burst did come right after 9, so it would be like, what would they do in between then if they weren't releasing him? Was not expecting it this early, so most of us were expecting the Arden Burst banner to come along in probably early October, maybe at the very tail end of September, like, I don't know, the 29th, 30th, I don't know. One of the last days of the month. So this one, I'm more pumped for Renoa, personally. Me pulling on this banner and going and spending a hefty amount of resources largely is going to depend on how lucky I am with the other banners that I'm locked into battles for. I don't personally have that much interest in Arden as a character. Please don't crucify me. I'm not going to knock anybody who wants him. I can see the appeal. I have more priorities that I want. Like, for example, Edward for me and Strago. And then, of course, we have the obligatory cat photo. I forget his cat's name, but goddamn, it's an adorable cat, and it reminds me of my own cat being Nyx. Anywho, did a much quicker recap this time, mostly because I didn't do it panel style / podcast style. Partially in part due to my schedule, working overtime, and none of my usual collaborators hit me up. And most everybody else that I know does their own, either they stream it live or they do their own recap of it, like some of the other YouTubers. So did it on my own, nasty style. Not as lewd, sorry. Mostly because I'm super tired and just trying to get this out. I'm trying to also focus up on getting that information to you guys. Anywho, I hope this was helpful for you guys. And until next time, this is Nasty Asti, signing off.